this is Angela, the Adult Services Coordinator at the Bridgeport Public Library in Bridgeport, West Virginia. Welcome back to our BookTube channel. So now we are wrapping up the year of 2021, so I decided to have a look and see which items in our library were the most circulated based on their category. So the most circulated fiction, the most circulated graphic novel, etc. So we're going to take a look at those books. I thought it would be a good place to start by introducing our library in a little bit more detail, and we can have a conversation about that. And also, if you are a library that happens to be watching this video, let me know in the comments or even in a response video which books are most circulated in your library as well, and let's see if there's like any books that are most circulated between the two libraries. When I worked at another public library in a town just north of here, our most circulated list would look completely different from this one. I can just tell you that right off the bat. For a little bit of a spoiler for the books that I have beside me here, none of them are James Patterson, which blew my mind for a public library to not have James Patterson as one of the most circulated books. That's just really unheard of for me, so I'm excited to show you what my findings were. So our library is in Bridgeport, West Virginia. So West Virginia itself is a very rural area, but Bridgeport is, according to city data and other sources that I use to get a clear picture for you, Bridgeport is more of an urban area. Don't think big city though, because we are still in West Virginia. We definitely have them. Like we have Charleston, Martinsburg, and Morgantown, and all of these big cities for us. But those are going to look a lot different than your Clevelands and your Pittsburghs and all of like your New York cities. We don't have anything like that in West Virginia. So we are still more of a small town. When I looked at the city data information for just our zip code in Bridgeport, we have about 15,000 people here. And our library is relatively small. There's other libraries around us, so like there's the Clarksburg-Harrison Public Library that is more of like the county library, whereas we're just mostly the Bridgeport City Library. Let's go ahead and look at the books themselves, and let's get started. The first book is Autumn Skies by Denise Hunter, and this is our most circulated large print book, coming at 7 total circulations for the year. I picked large print as one of the categories that I wanted to talk about because I wanted to see if the large print was the same as the fiction title, and as you'll see, that is actually not the case. Coming in at 8 total circulations for the year, we have Kate Moore's The Woman They Could Not Silence, and this is the most circulated biography. So in our library, biography has its own little section, and it even has a B for biography on the spine label, as opposed to the Dewey number 920. This one didn't really surprise me that much. Kate Moore is a pretty popular author because she wrote the book Radium Girls. And honestly, this particular book I might actually pick up and read myself. I'll admit that I've only read like maybe 2 books that I'll be talking about today. So it's kind of nice to do this video because it gives me a chance to build up my TBR list even more. And I might put this one on there. It just seems very interesting and right up my alley. This is our top circulating graphic novel at a total of 13 circulations for the year. This is Naruto. And not only is this the top circulating graphic novel, but in this entire list of books that I have to show you today, this was the most circulated item all over for its entire lifespan here at the library. So this has a total of 440 circulations just overall, not just including this year, but all of the years that Naruto has ever existed in our library. So this one didn't surprise me because Naruto is a very, very, very popular manga. So when I was going through my list, there were absolutely no surprises that this took the top place for the graphic novels. Okay, This one is our most circulating picture book at a total of 13 circulations. This is Memory Jars by Vera, Broskal. This one did come as a surprise to me because I've actually never heard of this book. Not that children's literature is something that I pay too much attention to anymore, just because my focus is more on adult services. But because I have worked in the libraries for a long time, I do see them a lot. And I don't remember there being a lot of hype for this book, so this was a big surprise to me. And so this is our top circulating juvenile nonfiction book. This is Minecraft, The Guide to Creative Mode. And the fact that a Minecraft book took the top place for our juvenile nonfiction did not surprise me. I figured it would either be Minecraft or Lego or Star Wars or something along those lines. So there were absolutely no surprises here. And this one checked out for a total of 13 circulations, just like our two previous books, which also have a juvenile designation. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, and so our top circulating juvenile fiction book is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Meltdown. And this came in at a total of 16 circulations. And again, there were absolutely no surprises that a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book took over the first place for juvenile fiction. It is kind of interesting that it's this one in particular. This is volume 13, and it looks like it came out in 2018. So it's been in the library for a couple years, but during 2021, this was our most checked out juvenile fiction book. Okay, and so next, this book is not our most circulated fiction book, although it has a fiction spine label. Instead, the reason this book is on the list is because this is our top circulating new release book. So new release is a temporary designation that books get put into when they arrive at the library, and they stay in for only like a few months' time. So for the entire time that Krista Hanna's The Four Winds stayed on the new release shelf, it got checked out a total of 20 times. So that is in a very small time span for a book to be in the new release section. So this one must have been checked out like crazy when it first came in. So I looked at the total circulations of this book as well for when it was taken off of the new release designation and put into fiction. And during its entire lifespan here at the library, it checked out a total of 112 times. So City of Bones by Cassandra Clare is our top circulating young adult book at 22 circulations for the year 2021. This one was a bit of a surprise just because I wasn't sure if City of Bones is still a popular YA series, but apparently it still is. So this is our top circulating nonfiction book. This is The Long Summer, How Climate Changed Civilization by Brian Fagan, but this was circulated a total of 22 times. And then finally, this is our top circulating fiction book, also circulated at a total of 22 times. This one was a little bit of a surprise to me because this book was published in 2010, so it's been in our system for a little bit, and I would have expected a newer book to be the top circulating fiction book, but that wasn't the case. So I am interested if you know why this book could have possibly been our top circulating fiction book, because maybe there is an adaptation coming out that I just have missed, or anything like that. If you have any speculation about why, let me know. I'm kind of curious. So that's it for our most circulated titles based on category. But I'm curious to hear what you think about all of our findings, and also share some of your findings down below if you happen to be a library watching this. I'm really curious to see if there's any overlap in what is most circulating for your patrons versus ours. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the new year.